You know that feeling? You've worked really hard, you see a decent amount landing in your bank account, and then maybe a few weeks later, you're looking at the balance thinking, hang on, where did all my money actually go?
Uh-huh. It's such a common, almost universal feeling, isn't it? That frustration.
It really is. It feels like this weird financial mystery. Your income just seems to vanish,
Yeah.
even when you think you're being careful.
Absolutely. And it happens regardless of how much you earn, which tells you it's maybe not just about the amount, it's
Well,
something deeper.
yeah, exactly. And that very common, very real challenge is what we're getting into today. We're doing a deep dive into engineer Reuben Juma Onunga's book, Protecting Your Money, Practical Habits to Guard and Grow What You Earn.
Right. And what's great about this book, I think, is that it's not just dry financial advice. It really digs into the psychology behind it all, the habits we form.
That's the key part, isn't it? The psychology and the habits. Because this isn't just theory Reuben's talking about.
No, not at all. His wife, Millicent Atieno Adundo, she writes in the foreword about his own journey. She talks about seeing him go through painful money mistakes and financial trial.
Wow. So he learned this the hard way.
He really did. It was a transformation to what she calls thoughtful stewardship. So the advice, it's tested, it's real-world stuff, which makes it so valuable for anyone listening right now.
Definitely. So this deep dive is really for you listening if you're just tired of that cycle, tired of seeing your money disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today, then, is to unpack the really crucial habits, the key mindset shifts from Reuben's own experience, the things that can help you finally protect what you earn.
And build that future,
Yeah.
one with a bit more peace, dignity, purpose.
Exactly. We're not just looking at what to do, but really digging into the why, trying to find those aha moments that can genuinely change how you think about money.
Okay, let's dive in.
Right. So most of us think, okay, money problems mean I need more money or I need a better budget.
Yeah.
But Reuben kind of flips that on its head right at the start, doesn't he?
He does. He basically says, look, your money problems might actually be mind problems. It's less about the math, more about the psychology.
Mind problems. Okay, unpack that a bit.
Well, in Chapter 1, The Psychology of Money, he talks about these invisible money scripts. These are like narratives we have about money, often totally unconscious.
Where do they come from?
Our upbringing, experiences, maybe things our parents believed, they shape how we interact with money without us even realizing it. We're sort of running on autopilot based on these old scripts.
That makes sense. And he tackles that common idea, the one we all tell ourselves.
Oh, yeah, the big one. I'll get better with money once I start earning more. He completely debunks that.
Why? It feels logical, right? More money, easier management.
You'd think so. But he argues that more income usually just magnifies your existing habits. If you impulse spend with a little money, you'll just make bigger impulse spends with more money. The root issue isn't solved.
Right. Ouch. That's a wake-up call. So if it's not just about earning more, what's the actual shift we need to make? How do we change those scripts?
It starts, he says, with renewing your mind, changing how you think. So instead of just asking, can I afford this, which is often just a quick calculation, he suggests asking a deeper question. Does this purchase actually align with my purpose, with my long-term goals? That pause, it's powerful.
It forces you to connect spending to something bigger than just the immediate want.
Precisely. And practically, he suggests trying a money journal for just 1 week. Don't just list what you bought. Write down why you bought it. What were you feeling? Stressed, bored, happy?
So you start seeing the emotional triggers.
Exactly. You start to uncover those hidden scripts driving your decisions. It's quite revealing.
Okay, that's a really practical starting point, understanding the why.
Yeah.
Now let's move from mindset to like day-to-day actions. Reuben talks a lot about mastering personal habits, small changes, big results.
Yeah, this is where it gets really tangible.
Let's talk about spend slowly, which honestly feels almost revolutionary today, doesn't it? Everything's instant. Reuben even admits he used to make unplanned purchases.
Yeah.
Stuff that just sat there unused, money gone.
He did. And his big realization was about introducing intention, mindfulness, slowing down that impulse. His key strategy, the 24-hour rule for non-essential buys.
The 24-hour rule. How does that work?
Simple, really. If it's not essential, wait 24 hours before buying it. He found that most things that felt like a must-have in the moment, well, they lost their appeal by the next day.
Yeah, that emotional urgency just fades, doesn't it? I've definitely felt that with online shopping carts. Leave it overnight and suddenly you're like, nah, I don't really need that.
Exactly. It works. He also suggests using cash more often.
Why cash?
Because it feels more real. Swiping a card is abstract. handing over physical cash. You feel it leaving. It connects the purchase to the effort you put in to earn it.
Makes sense, that physical connection.
And he poses this really great question for you, the listener, to ask yourself. Would I still buy this if I had to work the hours to earn this money all over again tomorrow?
Ooh, that reframes it completely.
Yeah.
Puts it in terms of your actual time and effort, your sweat.
Right. It makes you weigh the value much more carefully.
Okay, so spending slowly, intentionally, that's huge. Now, what about the flip side? Saving. Most people try the save what's left over approach.
Which, as Reuben points out in Chapter 3, almost never works. There's usually nothing left.
Exactly. So what's his painful lesson here? How do we actually make saving happen?
His big shift came when he started treating saving like a non-negotiable bill, like rent or, for him, tithing. It wasn't an afterthought. It was the first thing he did.
Pay yourself first. We hear that, but how did he implement it?
His commitment was simple but firm. Save the first 10% of every single payment he received, before anything else.
10% off the top.
Off the top. And the amazing thing, he adjusted his life to live on the remaining 90%. And instead of feeling deprived, he actually felt more in control, more empowered. It's a deliberate act of prioritizing your future self.
That proactive stance feels key. You're not waiting for leftovers. You're carving out your future first.
Absolutely. And he connects this idea, using analogies like the story of Joseph in Egypt, saving during the good years.
Right, preparing for the famine.
Exactly. Saving is that proactive preparation. It's not just about hoarding cash. It's about building character. It proves you can delay gratification. And it builds layers of protection, your emergency fund, savings for specific goals, and then long-term investments.
Okay, so we're working on mindset, spending slowly, saving first. But Reuben also warns about these, hidden dangers, right? The unseen traps in Chapter 4 that can just sabotage all your good intentions.
Yeah, this is crucial because you can have the best habits, but certain things can quietly erode your discipline. He flags 3 big ones: gambling, greed, and impulse buying.
Let's take gambling first. It seems like it's everywhere now, especially online.
It is. And Reuben sees it as this dangerous illusion, this belief you can somehow beat the system easily. It preys on hope, he says, but it almost always leads to despair and financial ruin.
It promises quick wealth.
But undermines the steady, patient effort that actually builds wealth. He often quotes wisdom, like Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Gambling is all about haste.
Okay. What about greed? That feels sneakier, maybe harder to spot in ourselves.
It really is. Greed isn't just wanting nice things. It's this insatiable desire for more, never feeling satisfied. It can disguise itself as ambition.
How is it different from ambition?
Ambition usually has a purpose, a goal. Greed is just more for the sake of more, and that unchecked hunger. It leads to foolish risks, maybe chasing get-rich-quick schemes, because your sense of peace gets tied up in just accumulating stuff. It makes you vulnerable.
Right. It clouds your judgment. And the third one, impulse buying, we touched on it with spend slowly, but he flags it as a trap too.
He does, because it's that constant quiet leak. Often it's not about needing the thing. It's about soothing an emotion, stress, boredom, needing a quick dopamine hit.
So the fix is the same. Mindfulness, the 24-hour rule.
Pretty much. That pause, that moment of reflection, asking, why do I want this right now? It deflates the impulse.
So how do we defend against all these traps, gambling, greed, impulse? What's the common thread?
The common thread is purpose. Reuben argues these traps gain power when your money doesn't have a clear job, a clear vision behind it, when you know why you're saving, what you're building towards. These temptations they lose their sparkle. Your vision acts as a filter.
That makes sense. Anchoring your finances in something meaningful. Okay, let's shift slightly. Frugality. It often gets a bad rap, right? People equate it with being cheap. We're struggling.
Yeah, there's definitely a stigma. But Reuben completely reclaims it in Chapter 5. He says frugality isn't poverty, it's financial intelligence.
Financial intelligence, I like that. So it's not about deprivation.
Not at all. It's the art of maximizing value. Being mindful, not miserly. It's about buying things that are useful, making smart choices so your money works harder for you. Not just buying the cheapest option, but the best value option.
So thoughtful consumption.
Exactly. And Reuben shares his own journey of letting go of that pressure to look rich. He found real freedom in living for peace of mind, not for impressing others.
That's liberating.
It is. He quotes Proverbs 21:20, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." It's about having margin, security, not just looking flashy. His mantra is powerful. You don't have to look rich to be rich.
I love that. You don't have to look rich to be rich. Okay, so if we embrace frugality as wisdom, the next step seems logical. Putting our money to work productively. Not all spending is bad, right?
Definitely not. Reuben makes this critical distinction in Chapter 6. Ask yourself, is this spending feeding my ego or is it feeding my future?
Feeding the ego versus feeding the future.
Right.
What does feeding the future look like?
It's about directing money towards things that actually generate a return. That could be tangible, like investing in tools for a side business, or less tangible, like a professional development course that boosts your skills and earning potential.
So investing in yourself or your capacity.
Exactly. Or even health expenses, a gym membership, better food, things that enhance your ability to function and earn long term. He links it to the parable of the talents, using what you have to multiply it.
It often requires delaying gratification, though, doesn't it? Choosing the course over the immediate gadget.
It does. It's about prioritizing long-term growth over short-term pleasure, making your money work for you, building real value, not just consuming it.
Right. So mastering these personal habits, spending slowly, saving first, avoiding traps, being frugal, spending productively, that's huge. But Reuben doesn't stop there, does he? He talks about building systems.
Yeah, this is kind of the next level, moving beyond just willpower and discipline, which can fluctuate, to building structures that support your financial health automatically, making your money work for you systemically.
Okay, what are some of these key systems?
Well, first, in Chapter 7, he talks about passive income. This is a game changer. Moving from earning only through your active effort, your sweat, to having systems that generate income for you.
Like investments, or maybe a business that runs without you being there 24/7.
Exactly. Real estate, dividends, royalties, a well-structured side business. The goal is for your money to work, bringing in income even when you're not actively trading your time. That's where true financial freedom starts to emerge. It gives you options, sustainability.
That definitely sounds like the dream for many people. What else?
Next, banking smarter, which he covers in Chapter 8. This is about stopping the silent leakages.
The silent leakages, like what?
Those little things that drain your money without you really noticing. Hidden bank fees, maybe loan processing charges, the crazy high interest on things like mobile loans or credit card debt if you're not careful.
Things that seem small but add up massively over time.
Hugely. So it's about becoming financially literate, reading the fine print, asking your bank questions, understanding the true cost of convenience. Because as he points out, using Proverbs 22.7, the borrower is slave to the lender. You need to know the terms.
Good point. It's easy to just click accept without really understanding.
Very easy. Then, Chapter 9 talks about something often disconnected from finance. Health is wealth.
How does health fit into protecting your money?
Well, poor health is incredibly expensive. Not just doctor's bills and medication, but lost workdays, reduced earning capacity. It can drain your resources faster than almost anything else.
So prevention is key.
Absolutely. Prevention is always cheaper than cure. Treating your body well, managing stress, exercise, nutrition, it's investing in your primary asset. Your ability to earn and enjoy life depends on it.
It's a foundational piece of financial stability we often overlook.
Totally. And finally, in Chapter 10, he addresses the wisdom to give. Generosity is important, but
it needs wisdom. It can be tricky balancing helping others with your own financial needs, right? Especially if you feel stretched.
it can. Reuben emphasizes giving, but crucially, without financial self-neglect. That means having a giving budget, just like any other category,
A budget for giving. Okay.
and learning to discern real needs from wants when people ask for help. Are you enabling long-term solutions or just providing a temporary patch? And importantly, giving from your overflow, from a place of abundance and joy, not out of obligation or depletion.
Giving cheerfully, as the saying goes.
Exactly. Giving wisely ensures you can keep giving sustainably without harming your own financial foundation.
Wow. Okay. So mindset, habits, systems. That's a really comprehensive approach. If we try to boil it all down, what's the core message we should take away from Reuben's experience and advice?
I think the core message is really about the quiet, consistent power of discipline. It's not necessarily about hitting some magic income number. It's about diligently protecting what you already have day in, day out.
Little by little, like that proverb.
Little by little. Reuben's own story shows that financial peace isn't usually about luck. It's about deliberate choices, solid habits, and building systems that compound over time.
And it's not selfish to focus on protecting your money, is it? Sometimes it can feel that way.
Not at all, according to Reuben. He frames it as being responsible, wise,
Mm.
actually a deeply loving thing to do for your future self, for your family, for anyone depending on you.
Right. It gives you stability, dignity.
And the freedom to live out your purpose, maybe serve others more effectively because you're operating from a place of security, not stress or desperation. Money becomes a tool, not a master.
A tool that serves your values. I like that.
That's the goal.
So Reuben leaves us with a really powerful thought, something for all of us, for you listening, to consider. Your future is not determined by how much you make, but by how much you protect, preserve, and grow what you already have.
That really sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. So the question for you is, what does this all mean for you? And maybe more importantly, what's one small intentional step you could take starting today to better protect your money and start building that future?